Everything is possible until the moment I open my mouth. Everything is possible until the moment I open my mouth and I elaborate what I'm going to say. Right now, we are all in the field of possibility. All eyes are up. Peripheral, I don't see anyone on their cell phone. This is an awesome moment in any conversation. When you meet anyone in the airport, when you potentially meet a new friend, when you potentially are talking to a future employer or employee. This moment in society right now does not happen. Before I go on, and I still have your attention, which is amazing, and I appreciate it, what I want to do is I want to pay homage to everybody that presented before me, before patting myself. What you did was amazing. I appreciate you exposing yourself, talking about the things that you've experienced, sharing your secrets, talking about your demons with me, and I just met you. I don't want to make that like a simple thing that we went through. I really appreciate that, from yesterday's speakers all the way to the 3 that we had today, and to the topics that they spoke of. The more I talk, the more I'm responsible for what I'm saying. I want to make sure that everybody in here understands that whenever I'm going on, my job is to do no harm in this presentation. If I say something that does not agree with your belief, or if I say something that you feel slightly offended by, I want to apologize for that right now. That is not my intent. My objective in this presentation is to do no harm, just to share a story, if that makes sense. Okay? All right. I like to press my feet through the ground. I like to rub my hands together a lot. What does that do? It brings me into the present moment. I press my feet through the ground for grounding, and I'll torque the floor apart just like you big squatters do. I'll rub my fingers together. If my mind wanders, I don't judge myself. I just take note. If I have a certain emotion, I won't judge myself. I'll just take note. So if I think, wow, interesting, that's an interesting individual, I'll take note. That's it. That doesn't mean I'm distracted. That doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. If you look at your phone, that doesn't mean you're distracted. Doesn't mean you're not paying attention. We just take note. All right? So, I was born in the DRC, that is the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Capital city is Kinshasa. This is a dear place to me. Back when I was born, it was called Zaire. The president at that time was a guy named Mobutu Sese Seko. He was appointed by some powers in the rest of the world. They are known for the rumble in the jungle, the fight between Muhammad Ali and Big George Foreman. So I was during that time when the kids ran through the street with Ali. Ali showed up, nothing but sweatsuits on. He was with the people. He would jog Kinshasa, and kids would come out of their freaking houses in their diapers, and many times naked with no shoes on, to jog with Muhammad Ali. And he would jog at a pace that every single kid in the neighborhood could jog. And if you were too young to jog, you sat out on the porch and watched Ali go for 8 to 10 miles with every single kid in the neighborhood. It was his intent. He set an intent. He was in the present moment. The other fighter at that time was George Foreman. When he dismounted from the plane, he had his German Shepherd with him. That simple decision to bring the German Shepherd changed everything for George. He brought an oppressive dog, a dog that was used by the Busalai military police to put pressure on people. So George, all of a sudden, he's playing the villain, not even knowing that he was playing the villain. Do me a favor and hold on to that. Hold on to that. George is the villain, and when he came off the plane, he was excited to be back in Africa, back in the motherland. He was excited to be it. And all of a sudden, in a split second, he's the villain. Okay, the reason DRC is just dear to my heart, if you have a cell phone, like if it's in your pocket, if it's not too far away, pick it up and kind of hold it up for me, for us. Okay, thank you. The cell phones that you have in here, 85 to 95% of these cell phones, there is a mineral in the cell phone. It's called coltan. The other is called cobalt. These two elements are gathered from the soil of the Congo. Just like the diamonds, just like the gold. Congo, it equates to what you saw in the Black Panther movie as far as what they consider to be vibranium. It's in the earth in the Congo. It is legitimately one of the richest countries in the world. Therefore, it's his hell. Military police, militia, other world powers fight over Congo. They do terrible things to the souls in Congo for the minerals that we use every single day, for the elements that we use every single day, for the commercials that sales does with the diamonds. Every single day, a Congolese kid is dying rapidly, ugly, gruesome deaths. And the nations do nothing. The nations do nothing. My father was a journalist in Congo. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, he told my mother, we need to leave. They were a young couple. She was about 18 years old. He was about 10, 15 years older than her. He dressed in linen. Africans like to be like super clean. He dressed in linen, mad creases, sharp. We need to leave. We lived in a big red brick house, not like National Geographic. It was a big red brick house with big driveways and big cars. Because you're a journalist and you're in that country, the government controls what you say. It is not like the United States where you can make fun of Mr. Trump, where you can insult Mr. Trump, or you have an opinion about the former president. They will come to your house, kill you. Now, he leaves us in Congo. He's gone for a year. He sends back tickets. We follow him. We land in New York. The cold freaking wind, the sheer shock of that cold wind, the trip to the airport. I can't sleep at night because of the trip to the airport. You pass these guys, the look in their eyes, they're going to kill me. They're going to line us up and kill me. Big super guns. And they're poking me with the gun. They're shoving me in the back. I'm 7, I'm 8. I'm getting shoved in the back with a nozzle. I turn, I look at him. He shoves me again. I'm like, man, the devil is here. That guy don't give a shit about me. He don't give a shit about me. I can see it in his eyes. I'm not a person to him. My mother grabs me and says, come on. They're going to line us up and kill us. I can smell it. I can smell that. So when I sleep at night, I can smell that. Okay, we get to the airport. You take the flight. You land in New York. Cold air, bow, smacks you in the face. And now you're just dropped in the middle of everyone looks like this. and you don't fit in. Now you're just looking around. Damn, they're going to kill me. And I'm 8. They're going to kill me. They're looking at me like they're going to kill me. I don't belong here. So you got to keep pushing. Now, watching my father pick us up at the airport, that's the only time I remember him kissing my mother. That's the only time that man kissed my mother. He kissed her, he gave us all a hug, and he was looking at me like we were all going to die. So then we end up we get into a little apartment in New York. Things are going to be different now. Madjan Vita, that's my first name. Malon Sakaja Changé. Everything is going to be different now. Everything is changed. Tukajimu Etazani, we're in the United States. Don't go outside until you talk to me. Do you hear me? Take care of your brother and sister when I am at work and your mother's at work. Do you understand? I hear you. Ujumukunva, Papa Jumukunva, I hear you. Look at me. I'm looking at you. Don't go outside. Okay. So he goes on to work. He's washing dishes. And we're in a 1-bedroom, just like a 1-room. Best damn time of my life. Best damn time of my life. Man, rap was coming out. Cats were breakdancing on the street. It was crazy. Guys were freestyling in the ciphers and stuff. And I'm just looking outside like, what the hell is going on? I'm trying to learn English. Now I'm like, I got to know what these guys are saying. Like, what the hell is going on here? Just poetry flowing in the street and guys rapping back and forth. You have break beats and cardboard boxes out and big boom boxes, guys dressed like weirdos, flowing in and out of rap shit. What is happening in the United States? I'm not supposed to be outside. You know how we all do. Right. So I go back inside. I come back. My father says a couple of years later, he says, we got to move. I don't want you and your brother growing up here. This is not why I came to the States. I resented him for that. I'm little. I'm 10. You can do that. We end up in the Midwest. Not a big fan. Was not a big fan. Because now I'm sticking out more than I was already sticking out. At least those guys had parachute pants on and funny-ass shoes, and they were spinning on their head, so I wasn't super weird. I belong to those weirdos. I love weirdos. But now, I'm sticking out. I'm sticking out to the point, even if I try to be subtle, I can't be subtle. It's the black kid. It's that kid. I'm like, man. Now the anger starts to build up because now you armor. If I'm the bad guy, then I'm going to be the bad guy. Now you armor up because you're not going to let nobody hurt your fucking feelings all the damn time. So now you armor up and now you're looking for an identity. Like how do I create myself? Comes through sport. It comes through sport. A guy comes to my house. His name is David Rader. I got a box of scholarship offers from all over the country, but they don't make sense because they don't translate to my father. They don't translate. It's a scholarship offer. They want to pay for your schooling, housing, books, and everything. Baji ba chingani, basaku ba ninaya dundu ko kwa kwen, ni ba futa ba bitu Beyonce. Chingani, ni ba futa ba bitu Beyonce, jinaya dundu nabus. I'm going to play football. They're going to pay for everything. Oh, Malonsu, Beyonce. Nah, no way. Uka Junai professional? No. Mukalasa. It's college. No. Chiji professional? No. Papa Chiji Kalasa. Kalasa kwe. Where do they do that at? Apa. Okay. So he says, I'm playing professional because it doesn't translate. It doesn't translate. Someone's going to pay your room, books, class, board, everything, food, and you're an amateur? No, you're not an amateur. So, good. He gives me $20. I got a total of $40 from my pops in my life. He gives me $20. He says, go train. So I start trying to train. I've been training. I'm doing push-ups because I wanted to be Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee taught me a lot. Be like water is verse to me. That's scripture to me. Be like water is in my veins, my DNA. So now I'm lifting on top of that in high school. People are coming through. This is my sophomore year in high school. But in the city, in the place I'm at, they don't know this yet. My high school coach knows this, so he's trying to groom it. My parents are working. You don't see them much, and when you see them, they're tired or they're drinking to try to deal with things. By now, it's like 88, 89, maybe 1990. The recruits are getting bigger. The deal is getting bigger. A guy comes to the house and he says, I need your help. I want to partner with you. I've never heard anybody talk like that. Still to this day, I've never heard anybody talk like that, and I've been in a lot of recruiting meetings. I want to partner with you, he says. He's the head coach. He sits on the floor and he eats fufu with myself and my family. He eats the meal with his hands. Fufu is only good if you eat it with your hands. If you eat it with a fork, it looks like you're trying to be something else. Solo, am I lying? Yeah. So you can get the fufu, you can get it with cassava. It's like a meal. It's heavy carbs, mad carbs. There's so much carbs in fufu, you seldom eat all 3 meals. For someone to eat 3 meals a day, it's like, God, that guy is like, what is he, the president? I mean, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Fufu sticks to your ribs. So does cassava. Guys that eat cassava, you see it in their vein, like it'll pump through your vein. The root is no joke. Anyway, so he eats the fufu, he takes the spinach, and he puts it with the goat meat, and he's knocking it out in his mouth. And as soon as he does that, he's talking, he's pitching, he's been there for a couple of minutes. My father says, you're going to go work with this man. We give him another plate. He eats more fufu, man. He's enjoying himself. What is this? He's talking, man, this meat is so fresh. He's just talking. I'm going to sign scholarship with him. My father stands up and says, my son will go to your school. He's like, what? But he has all these state schools and all these big time whatever. He's coming with you. All right, fast forward all that. I get a call one day, and it's a guy named Dick Vermeil. And he says, hey, man, I'm going to draft you. I'm going to draft you, but I got to trade a draft pick. I got to trade a couple of draft picks. I'm trying to create a championship team. So if I don't pick you up in the 3rd round, I'm going to pick you up later in this draft. He doesn't have to talk to me like that. Come on, the head coach don't got to give you a head call. Like, he don't got to give you a heads up on it, right? So in the 6th round, the name Madhyanvita Kazadi goes across the screen. That's when everything like flips upside down, because now it's 1996. Why is it flipping? It should be an exciting time. But from 92 to 96, every time I walk outside, I keep seeing this weird spot. It's like a spot, and you'll see me do it. Like if guys that are with me, they always see me look over and look this way. '94 to '96, the Tutsi and the Hutu in Rwanda, there's a civil war. So my cousins are calling on the phone, and they're dropping like flies. They're just dying. Every day they're dying. They're just dying. My mother can't even answer the phone no more because they're just dying. So the separating thing between the Tutsi and the Hutu was the width and length of your nose. It was devised by an outside country because of the coltan, cobalt, gold, diamonds, uranium. They slaughtered each other, 1 million strong. The rest of them refugees, they came into Kinshasa. Now it's a free-for-all. There's 1.5 million people that go into Kinshasa. My father is telling my mother, I'm listening at night. He's losing family members right and left. 96, 97, my name's going across the screen, and there's a civil war that's happening in the DRC. From 96 to 2003, 6 million Congolese are dead. Fam, there's 5 million people in South Carolina. There's 5 million people in South Carolina. There's 4 million people in Alabama. There's 4.9 million people in Louisiana. I can't rejoice because my cats were carrying guns. So I resented my father for taking me out of that situation because now I'm alive and I'm eating pizza. They're not eating meals. I'm alive, I'm eating pizza. Solo. 6 million Congolese dead until 2003, 2004. 6 million, man. So I get to the Rams. Coach Vermeil says he likes me, says he wants me to be this hitter. He's like, I just want you to run fast and hit people. That's what I saw on tape. I want you to do that. I'm hitting people because I can't stand people. I can't stand people. This thing keeps following me around. This dark thing keeps following me around. Give me.
I have to admit something. When I asked Bert, where you at, Bert? When I asked Bert, said, you need to bring Kaz on, it was out of selfishness. Because I just want to sit there. Before I get too far, where's Rudy? Is he here? He's somewhere in the universe, right? Last year, I talked about my favorite movie, which is Heat, and I gave the quote, you know, how much time do you have when you feel the heat coming from around the corner? You know, you got to be willing to walk out. When you feel the heat coming from around the corner, you got to be willing to walk out in 30 seconds or less. So I had some things I need to get rid of. So I wrote a book, and I wanted to give him a book because, man, that guy is energetic, he's passionate, and I got a book for him. Next person gave me one of the best gifts I've ever received. One of the best gifts I've ever received happened last year at SummerStrong, when I followed one of the toughest presentations I've ever seen in my life. So where's Alex Oliver? Thank you. Thank you. Where's Pops? Pops, where you at? In the back? He's probably listening. Man, can we give a round of applause for Pops? You know, we're here because a man sacrificed a lot. He sacrificed a lot. Bert, you told me how much you all sacrificed. It's a sacrifice. We look around and Sorenex, the brand, the people, we're all here. It's great. This is great. It came with a lot of sacrifice. So I want to talk a little bit more about sacrifice. I want to go back to 2004. Let me go back to 1999 when I met a guy on a boat down at the lake. Said, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? What's your name? I'm Kaz. What's up? I'm Pat. All right. Good to meet you. All right. 5 years later, as I was leaving his alma mater from being a director of strength and conditioning, I get a call from our mutual friend. And he says, Kaz wants to get into strength and conditioning. He's working in the corporate world. He has a wife and 2 kids. They live in Kansas. And I asked, does he have his master's? And he says, no, he doesn't have his master's. So I call up Kaz, hey, what do you want to do? So I want to coach. I said, all right, man, here's my situation. I got two situations. I got a full-time job, but also have a GA spot. You don't have your master's. So I know you have a wife and 2 kids, and I know you have a good job. And if one I'm offering you, I probably still can't pay you what you're making, even if I offer you the full-time, it still won't be equal to what you make at your current corporate job. But the GA spot, which is
$600 a month, fam.
$600 a month. But I promise you, if you're going to be who I think you're going to be, you're going to need your master's. So you can take the full-time spot or you can take the GA spot.
30 seconds or less, I'll take the GA spot.
Takes the GA spot. Wife and 2 kids in another state. He commutes. I don't know where he's sleeping at night when he's in Columbia, Missouri.
Coach's locker room.
Coach's locker room.
Couch.
On the couch.
Play chess, play dominoes with the janitor.
Playing dominoes with the janitor at night. He's there for a year. He gets his master's in a year and a half. He goes and works at the Chiefs. The head coach fires the whole staff. He goes to the head coach and says, I got the guy you need to hire. I interview with the head coach. I get offered the job for the Kansas City Chiefs. He said, who are you going to hire as your assistant? The guy you just fired.
That calls quite a conundrum.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. You can take your professional job, take it or leave it. I'll go back to doing what I do. I got a great job. I go back, I talk to my family, I decide to say, then I got to say, man, I hate to do this to you, but I can't take this Chiefs job. I know I accepted it, and I know with me accepting it, you have a job, but I have to tell you, I can't accept it, so you don't have a job. Goes to South Florida, then he's at Baylor for 10 years. We have our issues going back and forth. Man, I'm going to say something you can't say.
Yeah, go ahead, then I'm going to hop back in.
I'm going to say something you can't say. I don't know I do know what the media portrays about what happened, but I'm going to speak for the man that I know that stood in front of every young man and woman with the utmost integrity and teaching them how to be a man and how to treat a woman. I put my life on it, on how this man taught the players that was in his presence, that he was entrusted to. I put my life on it. So I don't know what you heard, because I know how the media spins things. But I put my life on it. I put my integrity on it. I put my reputation on it. I put everything on it. That he stood up in front of people every day and taught them how to be a man.
All right. So I'm going to pick up. So I got this thing. It's always following me. It's always like off to the left of me or whatever. Sometimes it's like weird locations. And I'll ask my friends, you see that? They're like, no. One time I called my brother. I'm like, there's something in the trees, man. Like, this thing gonna kill me. Man, my man told me he saw that shit too. He's at Washington State. I'm in Oklahoma. He's like, this thing is following me. I'm like, what's it look like? He's like, it's just dark. It's dark. He's like, it doesn't look right. I'm like, have you stopped and looked at it? He's like, I can't. I was like, neither me. Leave it alone. So we left it alone. It keeps following you. Man, you're supposed to be dead. He missed you. So we talk it out. He missed you in Congo. 6 million died. All your cousins, nephews, everybody's dead. He missed you in Congo. He's trying to get you here. So now, man, my brother shook. He puts the weed down. He shook. Man, he can't even go outside. I'm in the league. Everybody's talking about football. Fuck football, fam. Fuck football. Why you keep talking about football? This thing is trying to kill me. All right. So now, I get 5 years professional with Coach, 2 years with Coach Dick Vermeil. I learned a lot. I tore a bicep in college, no big deal. I love my injuries, man. They made me who you are. I love it. Like any discomfort I ever had, I sit with it, meditate with it, love it, hug on to it. You break something, you sit there, get to know yourself, just like Coach Young was talking this morning. Love it. It's going to help make you who you are. In this crazy guy's mind, there's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as success. All that is an illusion. All that is an illusion for our egos, so we can measure ourselves versus whoever. That's not true. There's no such thing as failure. As long as you're moving and pressing forward, you're not failing. You're experiencing, you're learning. Keep it right here. Take that experience, keep it right here. Statements that we make. I am angry. You are not angry. You're experiencing anger. I am. You are not. You're experiencing it. That is a grandiose statement to say you are. You are not that. You are not frustrated. You are not failure. You are not successful. You experienced success. You experienced the illusion of failure. When we make I am statements, it activates a certain part of your brain, posterior cingulate. It activates that, it connects to your vertebrae, but at the same time, when you activate your posterior cingulate, it sends the message to your body. The body sends the message back to the brain, and now the stress is real. So when you say I am, the body says it is. When you say I am, if you are successful, then you are. The first time you hit something bad, now you are a failure. The body feels that stress and then says, this is real. This is how our brains work. Because there's guys on TV and there's guys, they make a lot of money telling you, I made $10 million selling houses. Great. But in my perspective, where I'm coming from, there is no failure. There is no success. There is only the coin. When you get a quarter, you don't say, I'll take the head side of the quarter, do you? You don't say, I'll take the tail side of the quarter. You take the entire quarter. You take the entire coin, just like you take failure and success. Who in here wants to be great? Then you want to fail. Who in here wants to be successful? Then you want to be ridiculed. Who in here wants the best job in the nation? Then you want to be a scapegoat for some punk-ass strength coach and his punk-ass staff to be talking like you're reckless, like you ain't been through things and watched people die, like you would damn near let a woman get hurt. You got to take that shit. But you know what? If you got the right connection, you can plan for that. If you're having the right conversations. What's the purpose? Well, what's the problem? Well, what's the question? Well, what's the answer? When do I answer this? Well, when do I ask this question? It's a process. You got to have somebody to bounce that off of, and they got to keep it 1,000 with you. They can't say what you want to hear. Dog, 2015, and I'm skipping forward. The shit happens in Ferguson. The University of Missouri is however many miles from Ferguson. You got kids on your team that are there. You got kids on your team with parents there. You got kids on your team with family there. And you want to talk about lifting? You want to talk about lifting? Man, fuck lifting. I ain't lifting, coach. Now, what are you going to do? Come on, black coach. What are you going to do? You going to talk to me, coach? Is this a color thing, coach? Keep it 100. You got to talk to the kids. Shit, they walked my man out for being genuine, for answering the questions. I regress. All right. So now I'm in Barcelona. I got a 1-year contract after 2 years with the Rams. They win the Super Bowl the year when I changed my contract, and it's all good. I love that experience. Why? Because I got to watch a grocery store clerk go from stacking bread to the Hall of Fame. Like, he was in our camp. So Kurt Warner, no one knows his name. He's in our camp. And it's awesome. No one knows his name. He's like the 7th-string quarterback. And we had just went 0-8 in the division. The next year, we go 8-0. It's him. He goes 8-0 and goes from putting bread on the racks and stuff to the Hall of Fame and winning the Super Bowl. And then we're watching. I'm like, man, this is amazing. Sign a 1-year contract in Barcelona, play for 1 year, get rehired by the NFL. So not only did you get drafted from the Congo, but you got rehired from the Congo. Less than 1% to get in, less than 1% to get rehired. What percentage are you dealing with? What's impossible? Just a word. Okay, now, you play your 1 year, you fall back out. Every time you get injured in the NFL, you better have made a few million so they can hold on to their investment. If you don't have that few million, then they go ahead and shop you back down, pick up somebody young, and keep the business moving because nothing stops the machine. And if you go in there with feelings, you're going to get ate alive. You a fish with land sharks. Like, it's not like that. Keep your feelings tucked away. You don't hear people say, I feel like. Them NFL cats don't talk like that. They're the real juggernauts. Wellborn, you ain't here? Wellborn is weird. Wellborn is weird. He knows what I'm talking about. There's a lot of weirdos in there. There he is. There's a lot of weirdos in the league. Cats want to make it to the league. You're hiring, you're talking about alpha males. You better armor up. And when you do that, all that testosterone flowing everywhere, you're missing something. You're missing something. Too much testosterone. You're off balance. You're off balance. Too much of anything is never good for you. Okay, so now you're sitting there and you're playing. I mean, you're fighting for your life, or so you feel like. A kid pulls a freaking gun out of his bag because you practiced a little too hard. He's like, yo, rookie, chill out. You're like, if you want to shoot, shoot. Later, the kid gets arrested, and then the kid dies in jail. The kid hangs himself, and he writes a note, but you experienced his anger at that time. You're looking at him. The kid damn near won the Heisman. I mean, the kid's coming out of Nebraska, and he dies in jail. So you move on. You know, you don't forget that stuff. You move on. All right, from then you sign a 1-year contract, you play in the CFL, the NFL hires you back again. That's 3 times for the NFL and you. Now you got your 401k, you back out, checkmate. It's about the long money. When the man offers you $50,000 for the job or $600 for the short term, but the experience, you take the experience. Take the experience, never take the cash. That's short money. Don't hustle backwards. Long money. I'll take $600 a month. I'll drive back and forth from my family and all that stuff. I'll sleep wherever because I want to know what the hell you know and the experiences that you had. Now, you get done playing, you go do your little time, a year, he said a year and a half. I knocked that 32 hours out in 1 year. Bump that. I knocked that thing out in 1 year. Got hired working with the Chiefs. The story he told, he stopped short. So now, you're working your butt off. You're right down the street from your crew. Man, these guys are driving up to the Kansas City Chiefs facility. The University of Missouri is driving up there, and they're helping us train athletes. When I say helping us train, like they're taking freaking readings. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff happening. And the Chiefs guys love it. They're experiencing, it's like they're almost in college again. And they're having a great time. Everybody's in there training, and we got a whole staff of freaking 20 people in there having a great time. And that's the professional development trip. So they go back and forth, and we're having a great time. The thing about being in the league is, Wellborn will tell you, there's a lot of vipers when the grass is tall. Anytime you throw money in the game, there's an issue. So if you're in the money game, just know, sooner or later, you're going to get pinched. You want to run around with gangsters, sooner or later, you're going to get pinched. You got to be willing to do your time. If that's not how you see things, then you're going to get knocked off, seriously. So every time I turn the corner, I see that little dark thing. I keep moving. One day I see the dark thing and the head coach walks in, and I'm shook because I can feel this guy on me. By now I know how to own him. He's there. Oh, he's going to be there. He's mad he missed me in the Congo. So he's here now. I know he's here. But now I know him. I know why he's here, because he missed me. So I'm in the copy room. The head coach walks in. Says, I want to give you a raise. Man, that's awesome. That's great. Have you run it by my supervisor? I'm making a mistake. I'm talking to the head coach. I'm negotiating for Dolo. This is stupid. This is not chess. This is stupid. I want to give you a raise. My answer should have been thank you. But fuck. When I go back, how am I going to explain it to him? That I got a raise and he didn't know. You see, it looks shady. So now I'm talking back and forth, and this thing is on me. And I'm like, man, I don't even know how to get out of this one. Do you not take the raise so you can go back and tell your guy you got offered the raise? Or do you negotiate? I rolled the dice. The beast is on me. I negotiated. I crapped out. Because every time I turn the corner, I hear somebody say, man, you should be running the show. You should be running the show. You should be running the show. And I'm trying to deal. People are dying, man. You should be running the show. Finally, I called one of my mentors, and I'm like, I need your help. Cats are saying I should be running the show, but I don't know how to tell this cat to get these guys off me. He flips. Why would they be saying that to you? He shows me weakness. Why would they be saying that to you? Why do you think I'm calling you for help? You asking me questions. I'm calling you. You asking me questions. I need your help to get this off me. Why would they be talking to you about that? I don't damn know. Wellborn knows my code is if I'm working with you, if I'm assisting you in everything, in anything, I am going to be the best assistant you ever damn had. Hands down. You'll never see me fat. You'll never see me out of shape. I love to get skinny and bony and then build myself back up. I will run and run and run and run. I won't walk anywhere. And any kid that you can't get to, I'll find the combination, I'll get to the kid. For your business, I know I'll do that. That's my code. I'll never blame the kid. Coach called, said, how we doing today? Man, we had a great day. How we doing today, coach? I didn't do a great job coaching. I didn't take the right angle with Cat. He's upset. I shouldn't have talked to him like that in front of everyone. I don't know what he's got going on in his life. I got to reapproach him. Okay, I know you got it. All right. Never blame the kid. Never put the head coach or the supervisor in a situation they can't fix. Never come with problems, come with solutions. If you don't got the solution, take your time, take a step back, pause, think about it for a second. Information is currency, so I never told the coach anything that wasn't going to get us paid. Information is currency. So if I'm going to tell on a kid, I'm killing them. All right, fast forward. Get done with the Chiefs deal. I look in the paper, man, I'm going home. My wife got everything set up to celebrate me getting a raise, right? I'm going to the crib. We got fired. ESPN is saying they got fired because of the intern. Was it the intern? Was it the intern? All right, let's play the game. I'm learning. I'm learning now. Got fired because of the intern. Damn, my stomach is hurting. Damn, this thing is still on me. Is that in the car? Shit, one day I wrecked my car. I called P. I said, man, I just wrecked. He's on the phone. He couldn't even talk because he's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm like, man, this thing is on me. I keep feeling this pain in my stomach. Damn, this thing is on me. Get to the hospital, and I'm like, hey, there's a pain right here. The lady says, well, you look fine to me. We start flirting back and forth. I'm like, no, that's not the point. I got a pain up underneath my rib cage. She's like, you look fine to me. I'm like, listen, I got a pain underneath my rib cage. She's like, okay, well, let's take a look at it. This is after 30 minutes of me begging her to take a look at it. They take me back to the closet. It's like a little closet area. There's wheelchairs in there, crutches, braces. There's all kinds of stuff that's not a bed. And I'm like, man, what are we doing in here? The doctor comes to see me in the closet. And he's like, how can I help you? I said, there's a pain right here. It's up underneath my rib cage. I can feel it when I breathe. It feels like needles. It's sticking me up underneath my rib cage, almost like my lungs. He's like, there's no way you should be able to feel that. I can feel that. I'm Congolese. There's more than 5 senses. I try to stay in tune with my senses. Just like that dark thing I see, it's up underneath my rib cage, inside my lungs. It feels like needles. What would that be? Well, let's just take a picture because I don't see how you could feel that. Okay, so they take a picture, pull me off. It's a pulmonary embolism. Man, they're like, man, you got blood clots in your lungs. Now they're panicking. Man, if this would have lasted, they tell the story, you wouldn't be doing whatever, all that stuff. They make it dramatic now. So no big deal. No big deal. He says, how did you get those? Have you been in a car accident? No. Are you a fighter? Do you do whatever? Yeah, but I didn't take a body blow. I'm good. It's induced. My body flipped. It did it to itself. It did it to itself because I wasn't acknowledging a certain stress. I was just dealing with this guy that keeps popping up. End up in South Florida, did South Florida for 10 months. Boom, Johnny Parker picks me up, San Francisco. On the way to San Francisco, I'm at this the Kinko's with this cat named Angel. I need resumes, I need all this stuff. It's going to cost $800. Angel says, man, how much do you got in your pocket? I said, I don't got 8 on me because all the cash goes to the family. I spend no cash. So he goes, all right, how much you got? I got some tickets to the Bucks game. I got a parking pass to the Bucks game. I got a VIP pass. He says, good, it's yours. All right, boom. I take 8 resumes. I give Johnny Parker 4 resumes that say minority internships and 4 that don't say that. Johnny's pissed off. The first 4 say minority internships. He says, the job is yours. You did a great job. The only thing I hate is that this says minority internship. And he slams this shit on the desk. JP is upset. He pushes it in the trash. He's like, I didn't call you here over the minority internship. Who the hell told you that? Your man told me it's a minority internship, but I don't want to blame anybody. So I said, I don't know where I got that idea. That's on me. Well, how are you going to fix it? So I pull 4 more out that don't say minority internship on there, and I give it to him. And he goes, you think you're a smart ass. Dead ass right I am. Dead ass right. This is chess. Play it, think ahead. Okay, so they offer me the gig, turn it down, coach calls, I'm in Waco 9-10 years. Good. We're talking on the phone. How long you think this can last? Depends on how many big time victories we have. All right, we talk on the phone. He's like, you're not going to be there long. Like, yeah, I know. All right, so we're talking it out. We project the situation, whatever. It happens. End up going to help Coach Roysick out with the Dallas Cowboys. Man, best time of my life. Volunteering with Coach Roysick. This sucker got like 5 Super Bowl rings. He got 5 Super Bowl rings, and I'm interning with Coach Roysick. So basically, he walks out, and I'm just watching his maneuver. I'm trying to be the best assistant you ever had. Anytime he moves, I jog. Anytime he goes anywhere, I jog. Anytime he reaches for something, I swoop up and then I hand it to him. What else do you need? All right. So now Roysick is becoming irritated because I'm trying to guess when he's going to make a move. All right. A position comes open at Arkansas State. Cowboys offer a spot. Take the job at Arkansas State. Why is that? Short money versus long money. Take the long money. All right, Arkansas State for a little bit. Tell the family, if anything comes open in Dallas, Texas, I'm out. We're going to take Dallas, Texas. We take Dallas, Texas. All right. Why? Short money versus long money. No knock to anybody. It's all an investment. It's all an investment. Taking the more difficult road for the better result at the end. That's it. All right. We talked about it before. This is time. Space. This is everything that can happen when you meet somebody. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. This is possibility field. Everything that's possible can happen. Here's a plateau. Now, what happens in our life, what happened in my life, is as soon as you experience something, let's call it event one. As soon as you experience something, you're not on the ground anymore. You're seeing things from up here. What that means is we think we know. Once we think we know, we get off of everything that's possible. And we're only dealing with, make sense? Yeah. So if every single time you go through an event, you start seeing a lot more of these. And then pretty soon, you're only dealing on the top of the plateau. You're not in what's possible anymore. You're only in what's probable, what you think. Because everything is now, you're seeing it through the events that you went through. Does that make sense? All right. I want to do a quick exercise. How am I doing? I want to do a quick exercise. There's like 1,440 minutes in a day. You know, I looked it up. It's like 86,000 seconds. So I'm going to ask you for 1 minute. I'm going to ask you to do this exercise with me for 1 minute. And I only want people that are going to actually push to do the exercise. All right? Do this exercise with me for 1 minute. Listen to the instructions before you anticipate or try to do something. So what we're going to do is you're going to take whatever hand you want, put it out for it, and then another hand on the bottom. All right? And then what we're going to do, if we can get, yeah, good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a fist with both hands really tight as you can. Make a fist as tight as you can. Then we're going to open our hands as wide as we can. If you're going to do it, do it. If you ain't going to do it, you ain't making me happy. Good. Fingers as wide as they can until they feel like they're going to rip. Good. Now squeeze as tight as you can. Tight. Like push your fingers through your palms. Good. Open as wide as you can till your fingers are ripping. Good. Squeeze tight. Squeeze tight. Squeeze tight. Wrap your thumb around your fist. Squeeze till your forearms start to swell up. Open your hand as wide as you can. Some people use your pinky. Open. Open. Now, fast. As wide as you can. You're going to feel some blood rush to your forearms. Deal with it. We said 1 minute. Deal with it. Run into that pain. Welcome that shit. Open your hands. You got 20 seconds left of this. Punk out if you want to. Good. Wide. Open them wide. It'll get to where you think you're going to die. You'll be good. Squeeze. Good. Good. You got 10 more seconds. Open wide, squeeze. Open wide, squeeze. Open wide, squeeze. Couple more seconds. Good. This is good. Deal with that shit. All right. Now take your hands, hold them 6 inches apart. Bring them together. You feel that? Yeah. That is what happens when you're with people of like mind. When people say you have a vibe, That's what they feel. I feel you is that. It's been around since the beginning of time. It's called chi or prana. It's energy, currency. We measure energy in time, basically. People say time is super valuable. They talk about time all the time. I don't look at time personally. Personally, I don't look at time. I look at energy. If I say I was there for 7 hours, I use 7 cubits of energy. If I drove in a car and I use a quarter tank, I use a quarter tank of energy. I use a quarter tank of that. You can feel that. I guarantee you if we did that again and you put your hand to the guy sitting next to you or the lady sitting next to you, you could both feel that. Energy in between us all. How many times during the presentations did you hear somebody say, I was going to say that, but they already said it? Man, that's in my presentation. How many times did you hear a presenter come up and be like, it's already been touched on? When you're in a great situation with people that are not on the plateau, and they don't go into a situation feeling like they know everything and they're judging the presenter. When you're presenting, no judgment. I'm not trying to judge any presenters, man. They're up here butt naked trying to talk to you. It's awesome. Give me your experience that you had. A wise man learns from someone else's experiences. So when you're in that environment, that energy starts to work in between us all. It's always there. If you take a couple of deep breaths, you recognize it's always there. If you look, archaeologists say when they're studying mankind, societies at different locations in the world, innovating things of similar material at the same time. The wheel is invented on this side of the planet, the wheel is invented on that side of the planet. Blades on this side, blades on that side. Fire here, fire there. Brick, brick. Does that make sense? Because that's the energy. You can't see it, but it's every single freaking place. And it's valuable, man. It's valuable. Do not waste it. Don't give it away. But it does whatever you want it to do. So if you want to open your own gym, Elmer, it does that. It needs balance. Does that make sense? So it's important to have a bunch of different type of people in the room. It's important. It's important to have a bunch of different type of people in the room. I was talking to ma'am here, and I love her eyes. Like, she's very attentive. She's here, and she makes you feel like you're here. You need to pay attention. Don't waste that energy. That's my man.
Don't make me go home with the rest of these books. $20, I'll sell you a book. Man, thank you. Thank you all. Man, this is a special guy. We got a special thing. I hope you all understand the power of relationships. We didn't say the words, but what we've been talking about, dark matter, it's energy that's out there, and it's between us. It's between us all. It's out there. When he took off to go back to SMU, I was staying in his basement, and his wife and 3 kids were still upstairs. And there was never any words about, hey, how long are you going to be here? It was like, all right, man, see you on the other side. So I'll see y'all on the other side.